I think that would be on the list of American wonders. Sadly, I do think Mount Rushmore would be on the list of American wonders. Old Faithful.
Yeah. Niagara Falls.
The first Buc-ee's gas station. Yes. The pyramid, the Memphis Pyramid.
Yeah, the Bass Pro Pyramid.
All things that are Cinderella's Castle.
Oh, absolutely.
All things that are...
The Denver Airport.
Yes. All things that are in contention for wonders of America, for sure. Mm-hmm. Let us know what your favorite wonder is of America. Drop it down in the comments.
They're like, your mom's house.
Oh... Hey, howdy, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Mike's Monday Jams, the official podcast for music appreciators everywhere. Today we're going to be talking about the song Tomorrow by the band Wildorado. Let's get it. Well, it's the first Monday Jam for the month of March 2024. It's March 4th, 2024, which
March 4th.
is National Marching Band Day.
Yikes.
I wrote #yikes.
Yeah, pretty yuck.
As your two hosts, MC and EC, were raised by marching band.
I wasn't raised by marching band.
Well, not raised, but it was a part of our...
I experienced marching band.
Sure. Okay, it was a part of our experience in growing up. We'll put it that way. So, yeah.
It's not even marching season in March, though.
Nope, but, it's the act of marching forth.
I'll march forth into a life that no longer includes marching band.
You don't want to be a high school or middle school band director? I thought that was in the cards for you.
Jesus Christ, no.
Your most favorite profession of all time?
Uh-huh.
People who decide to be.
Yep. Really great decisions.
As always, you got EC and MC on the track here today in March. Today we're talking about a new release.
No.
What? And we're recording on Leap Day today, so hopefully you've had a wonderful Leap Day.
It's an extra day of your life. Treat it as if, it's not a day you always get.
No. Yeah, in fact, you only get it every 4 years.
You got to seize it.
You got to carpe diem, folks. But yeah, we're talking about a new release today from the band Wildorado. Their first episode in the podcast era of this show, but have been featured on Mike's Monday Jams a couple times in the pre-podcast era. They just released a 2-single kind of 7-inch thing, and the song we're talking about today is on that little release. And in my opinion, they did the perfect thing. Every band should do this. Every artist should do this with releases. Like, it should surprise you.
No.
It should, artists be doing that thing. It's like,
out. Yeah.
It's coming out in 1 year. Get excited. And then there's like 4 single releases, and it takes forever.
Just drop it.
Yeah.
Wait and drop it.
Agreed. And I know it, like, from a business standpoint, probably creates buzz or whatever and gets people excited. But I don't know. If you're a record executive, stop doing that. The true fans, the music appreciators, I would say we represent music appreciators, and we are the official podcast of music appreciators. So I believe we've got ground in saying that you should cut that crap.
Yeah, It's annoying.
So have bands release things by surprise, because not only are you not expecting it, but then it's like a, another thing that like brightens your day. It's like, oh my gosh, look at that. So we're talking about one of these 2 singles today, and so cheers to new music that just comes out of nowhere. Is it no to that? But our band Wildorado, they're from Oklahoma.
I've been there.
Yeah, you've had some run-ins with Oklahoma, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. I've been to Oklahoma once.
Yep. I've also been to Oklahoma once. I've been to Tulsa. I've been to where they're from.
We flew into Tulsa, so I was Tulsa.
Yeah, what'd you think of it? What'd you make of it?
Well, I spent a significant amount of time in Oklahoma. I was there for like a week.
You sure were?
It was very cold. So cold. It was like the third week it was like right before Thanksgiving, and it was like the first time of the year that it got really cold, and it was like 19 degrees.
It's that Great Plains cold.
Yeah, it was very cold. But
Which I can imagine, because she was there for what, cross country national championships.
Mm-hmm. So we spent a lot of time outside in the cold.
Can you imagine running? They wear those little short shorts, and I know they got tights and compression stuff, but like, dang.
They were sweaty though, so
Still,
you know, they were cold.
that's cold.
But they also they were provided stuff by the athletic department to not be cold. They had
Fair.
every type of thing that they needed, and they had the heaters, and I was chilling.
The athletic department did not provide
No.
you with anything. I actually remember you purchased a Alabama hoodie or
stuff.
sweatshirt.
Yes.
Because it was like, oh, I want to be able to at least have that as the outer layer.
Yeah.
It's like, so people know that I belong.
Yeah, I needed to look like I went with the team, but I was like, I don't have I have like a crew neck, but like I need like a huge jacket. So I bought like a 2 or 3X like jacket so I could put it on over everything else.
You had to look like you were with the band. You know, you couldn't just.
Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, I spent. We flew in and out of Tulsa. I actually got stuck in the Tulsa airport on the way back, and spent like 5 hours there, and that was the reason we flew to Dallas. And then we missed our flight in Dallas, and I ended up staying overnight in Dallas.
Which you've done more than one time at the Dallas airport.
No, I got stuck at the Dallas airport for like 10 hours one time, but I got there at like 9 a.m., so it was still the day.
But you have a history of being
I have
stuck
a history
at
of
DFW.
being yes.
Don't take her to DFW.
But I spent the majority of my time in Stillwater, Oklahoma, home of Sonic, America's Drive-In.
America's Drive-In.
And so we went to Sonic several times, and that was pretty fun. And that was where we got our Oklahoma mug, which I'm not using. I'm using the Nevada one.
Yeah, close enough. It's anything west of the Mississippi, it's all the same. Except like LA, you know. It's like, that's like it.
The Grand Canyon.
Yeah, you know, because it's grand
Mm-hmm.
and a canyon.
I'd like to go.
Yeah, for sure. It feels like you know, if America had wonders, you know,
Yes,
the 7 wonders of the
absolutely.
world,
Absolutely.
Grand Canyon would definitely be a wonder of America.
Grand Canyon's not a wonder of the world, is it?
No, it's not.
I always get confused about these
The
wonders.
wonders
I wonder
are
if
always they're always old. You got to think like real old.
Well, you know they got the committee to make the new wonders. I wonder if it's on the list.
That's true. Is it in contention? Is it an honorable mention?
It should
The
be.
Grand Canyon.
It's a huge
How
hole.
do you get the necessary qualifications to be on the Wonder Committee?
I guess you gotta like stuff.
I guess, but I don't know.
A historian of sorts. That could be what archaeologists are doing these days. Call back.
What? We've cracked the code. No, I think that would be on the list of American wonders. Sadly, I do think Mount Rushmore would be on the list of American wonders. Old Faithful.
Yeah.
You know,
Niagara Falls.
the first Buc-ee's gas station. The pyramid, the Memphis Pyramid.
Yeah, the Bass Pro Pyramid.
All things that are Cinderella's Castle.
Oh, absolutely.
All things that are
The
in
Denver
contention.
Airport.
Yes, all things that are in contention for wonders of America, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what your favorite wonder is of America. Drop it down in the comments.
They're like, your mom's house.
Oh. So no, they're from Oklahoma. My experience with Oklahoma was that I went and saw Rush on their last tour. They opened in Tulsa, and it was like, of all their dates in proximity to Memphis, it was like you drive to Atlanta or drive to Tulsa, and it was about
Seems way closer.
They're both about 6 hours
Really?
from Memphis. Yes, I think Atlanta's a little shorter, but Tulsa was like on a Friday, and Atlanta was like on a Sunday, I think.
Oh.
So we were like, oh,
Interesting.
new place. So my dad and I went and drove
Through Arkansas.
to Tulsa, and I was getting my learner's permit at that time, and then he had me drive like 3 hours of the trip, and it was just a whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing.
Interesting choice.
And we had a great time. It was a great show. He actually ended up being on their documentary for the tour. Time Stands Still. There's like they kind of track like the opening night, and there's like a bunch of crowd shots and whatnot, and then there's this moment where they track like the entrance, and like my dad just he's just walking into the venue and like is looking around, and like there's a camera like right in front of him, can't miss it. And so like when we watched it for the first time, it was like the Leo meme. It was like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I know that guy.
But I was not featured in the documentary, unfortunately. So it is what it is. But he is forever memorialized in Time Stands Still, the Second Rush documentary. Wildorado are gaining a lot of traction these days. I don't know about a lot, but like they're on the progression. But I think they're at that like sweet spot. And I've talked about this before, but it's almost like it's a really good band. So if you go and see them, you're gonna have a good time. They're cheap to see because they're not big, and they're gonna play at small venues, so you're gonna have a good seat. So that's like the sweet spot. It's like not everybody else knows about this yet, but enough people know for me to enjoy this.
It's like what we had with the band Camino, but no longer.
Yeah, not anymore. Now that they're playing in Australia and New Zealand and whatnot, which good for them. They deserve it. All the best. But yeah, it's right now Wildorado's like in that sweet spot. You can go see them at a small place that probably doubles as a brewery or an arcade,
or a wedding venue.
Or a wedding venue. And, you can get really close to them. You can almost buy them a drink. Get to that in a second. But I think they're in that sweet spot. And I also appreciate about them, like, you can hear the progression. Like, you can hear the growth, like, from EP to EP and then eventually, like, to their album. And, with these two singles as well. Like, some of that earlier stuff. And this goes for the Camino, too. It's like you can hear how like amateur they sound like it with these like early EPs, but it's like a good thing. Like it's almost like there's
they feel like
it's a degree of genuineness to it.
Innocence not the right word, but
no. I mean kind of, but it's almost like youthful maybe. I don't know. Unadulterated.
I was about to say they're musical virgins, I guess.
It's like it's figuring it out. It's trying to create a sound that is yours. And I think it's really rewarding to be able to like get a band at that time where you can track them. Yes, because there's so much stuff nowadays that you're typically only going to hear about it once something gets really popular. And by that time it's like already super produced and processed, and they've got hotshot producer from so and so who whatever, this person wrote this song for this person.
The producer from Big Time Rush.
Yes. What big guy?
Yeah, God,
what was
what's
his
name?
Oh my God. I don't remember. I didn't really watch that show a lot.
I didn't watch it like religiously like all the other Nickelodeon shows, but
they had obviously some really good jams, but
oh yeah.
Windows Down.
Banger.
The theme song.
So good.
Is that it?
No, 24/7 is also good.
I think I know that one.
Oh,
Maybe they only had 2 bangers in my opinion. But yeah, it's you usually like catch new music now because like someone else has like shared it with you, or for us we still listen to the radio, XM specifically. And sometimes I'll get stuff that way, especially like on the pop channels, but it's like by the time it's got to that point, like it's obviously already pretty big. So I like this is a further point to the fact that they're in the sweet spot. I would call for artists, and I think the band Camino's in it to some extent, but they're obviously starting to depart, which is good for them. Proud of the achievement. But yeah, you can just kind of see the growth from EP to EP to album, what have you. So Wildorado's a little granola girl-y / guy who loves to go for hikes. I mean, do you catch that vibe?
Absolutely.
But it's like in an alt soft rock kind of way, a little bit of Spotify thinks this is like one of my favorite genres. Stomp and holler, a little bit of that, a little bit of folk. They're amalgamation of all that, and that's what you get with Wilderado. They're like really honest and forthcoming about all their stuff. Like if you ever go back on their Instagram or whatever for their releases, and and things that they're like working on, they're like super transparent about like what the songs mean to them and what they're working on and that whole process. And so, you just don't see that these days, really.
Yeah, way too much secrecy.
For sure. And I get it, like, as you're an artist and a songwriter, you probably want to leave some of that stuff up to the interpreter. But I think the cool thing about their songs, and we'll definitely be discussing that with this song today, like, there's multiple interpretations, but it's always nice to hear what the artist intended as well. So it's always good to see that, and you wonder, like, will they maintain that kind of vibe if they ever, like, do blow up or do get, like, super successful. And I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. We saw them in the Ham, in Birmingham, at Saturn, the little barcade situation. The frontman, Max, they all seem like really good guys, like really genuine, like guys who, they've got like little kids too. They're super like precious about their kids and whatnot. And they post with their kids a lot and talk about how that, means the most to them and, whatnot. But Max, he's not the most like engaging front man.
He's just kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, which you don't have to be. I think he's more about like being in the band and obviously more about the music, but he's not like. It just looks like he's not having a good time.
Yeah, it's kind of
on the stage, which he could be like a really nervous guy too.
Yeah.
But it's kind of goofy in that regard, but he still seems like somebody you'd want to invite to the kickback. You know?
Like just to kick back though, not like a kegger. I don't think he'd do
just the kickback.
Yeah.
A little more low key party. And I think they would thrive in that environment.
Yeah.
And if they
chilling, maybe a campfire.
Yeah, and if you got a couple drinks in you and they did bring their guitars out during the campfire, I don't think they would disappoint. Normally there's the guy at the campfire.
I think that they wouldn't make it about themselves,
No.
Guy at the campfire wants everybody to listen. They'd just be like providing live background music.
Anyway, so here's Wonderwall. No, I don't think that they would be like that at all. I think they'd be a welcomed addition. You'd be like, "Oh, yes. This is setting the vibe. This is nice." But it was a good show. Afterwards, this is one of the instances in which I made Emma wait for to maybe meet the band afterwards.
This was an easy sell because it just meant that we had to hang out in the bar.
Right.
And there were
there's
places to sit.
Places to sit. There's games to play. It's not like a
it was
huge
more like you
chore.
would hang out at the bar a little more after the show is over.
Let the traffic clear.
Yeah.
And so, easy sell there. But we were sitting around waiting. Also got like the album at the show, which, you never do these days. You don't ever get like albums at shows anymore. And so it was kind of cool to do that. But, I did prepare. I had a Sharpie just in case, so they would sign it. But the thing was they were also selling signed albums, so it's like that probably means they don't want it, because it's like they've already done that work. But I'm always like, I want to see you do it. It's like the band.
I think we've talked about this concept a good bit. I think they're too small to
do that,
to be able to care about that.
Yeah, but
I think if you're still as small as they are, he should be happy that you want him to sign the album. We got to talk about gratitude here, okay?
Fair, but it could also be that they're just not like the best people and maybe just don't really love those interactions. Well, I mean, I'm just devil's advocate or whatever, but they could just, Brendan Urie never did like meet and greets.
I know, and that was upsetting.
So maybe they just...
I love him with my whole heart, and I will criticize that for a long time.
Okay, so what if, you were famous and some rando came up to you and just said that exact sentence? I love you with my whole heart. You have no idea who they are. That wouldn't freak you out?
No, he told us that at the concert.
Yeah, but,
No, again, I would think that that's ridiculous. I wouldn't behave that way.
Either way, still had the pen prepared. But they had to have known people at this show, because afterwards, like the three of them, like two of them came out, I believe. I think one of them never came out. They're like a trio, but they have like other touring musicians, but it's the three of them that are behind like all the creative stuff. One of them I think never came out. The other two were like chilling But one of them, like, they looked like they knew people. They like were talking to people specifically, and it wasn't like it felt like a oh, hey, how's it going kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which maybe they had built rapport over the years. I mean, they had talked about them playing Saturn before, and you know, maybe they were friends with these people, so that was cool to see. But Max Fremen goes like straight up to the bar, like pays for his own drink. I'm like, dude, the bartender, like, he just what? Like, I guess, you know, bar tokens were not included in their deal there.
Or maybe they'd already used it up. Because, you know,
That's also
everybody
true.
who plays Saturn says it's, like, the best venue ever, and, like, the green room has all this stuff, and it's, like, the coolest green room. Like, I wonder if, like, they give them so much stuff that they don't
Probably.
think that they need anything else.
Probably. But Emma was like, oh, you should go buy it. You go buy his drink. Buy his drink. And I succumbed to the pressure. I didn't do it. Regret of mine, because I had a prime opportunity to just like slap my card down and be like, I got you, brother.
I got you, boy.
Brother. But alas, it shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't happen. And, you know, he kind of took his drink and talked to somebody else. And then on his way back, I assume backstage in the van or whatever, I was able to like tell him like, hey man, like, nice show. Because he didn't look like he wanted to talk to me. And I was also being a little weird.
I don't know.
I wasn't being weird.
No, we weren't. We had bought drinks. We were sitting, like, we weren't, like, hanging out
No,
behind
I'm
him.
not like
We were not-
staring at him like,
No,
hey,
I don't
man.
think we were behaving strangely.
And they're not like, no, I mean, they're great. They're not famous enough for
That's
me to
what
just
I'm
like stare at
saying.
them and be weird. But they're coming to Fairfield in June, so maybe I'll get my redemption shot.
You
there.
said that it's across from one of the train stations. Is it Fairfield or Fairfield Metro?
It is the former, I believe.
Fairfield.
She's gonna do voiceovers for Metro North now. Y'all watch out for the MTA.
Next stop, Fairfield Metro.
This is the train too.
Grand Central.
Great job. I
Thank
think
you.
you should, you know, do.
I
side
like that
hustles.
guy. Whoever it is that did all the voices, I like him.
You got a nice voice.
hmm
Sure. But they did a live album from this tour that we saw them on, and it was like an amalgamation of all the dates they went to. And another release that they just kind of up out of the blue was like, here you go. And I was like, oh, cool. So one day at work I put it on. And then I see like the song Astronaut. It says live in Birmingham. I was like, no way. I was there. Sure enough, fun facts. This is one of my standard fun facts. You can hear my scream in the beginning of that song.
That
and
might have been why he was avoiding you.
probably. I don't know. But we'll clip it now so you can hear it. But yeah, that person screaming "woo" is 1000% me. And you're like, how do you know? It's like that is how I woo,
He's got a specific woo.
and it's that. So fun fact.
It's not how you woo me.
No, different. But that fun fact, I'm featured in a live album. They haven't reached out to me about a credit yet, but
That's pretty effed up.
I'll live. You know, well, the time passes. It'll be fine. But a little goofy, you know, a little woo woo. So, but I discovered Will Dorado. I know you were wondering. Spotify autoplay. I remember like Surefire coming on, which is like their biggest song. And I specifically remember it was like when I just gotten back from the conference in Baltimore and was driving back to Birmingham, and like it came on. And like I had to listen to it multiple times. Like I backed it up like over and over again. I was like so taken aback by the experience of that song specifically, which is like that just doesn't happen anymore. I don't know. Like I obviously love music, but I'm rarely left speechless. Like Stephen A. that one time.
But I just don't know what to say about this. Look, man, I just don't know what to say. Scott?
Yep.
It is rare that I am relatively speechless. That moment has officially arrived. I don't know what to say.
You know, and I just rarely left speechless when it comes to music. And it's a song that I really enjoy, but also that's what kind of got me onto them. And I don't at this time don't get tired of them. They're pretty, like, every once in a while at work I'll just be like, yeah, I'll throw Wildorado on shuffle, like, and it just will take me through the afternoon or something. So I don't know how you feel about.
Yeah, very easy, chill. I don't feel like I'm putting any work in to
No.
listen.
But that's one of their strengths. It's like it's not background music though, but it's like you
Yeah.
don't have to work a lot to.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on, but at the same
it
time,
can still be passive.
yes. But at the same time, there is maybe, I don't know. This song, Tomorrow, I think it's like the perfect afternoon reflection song. I love a good, that's like one of it. That's like the third yawn you've been trying to hold back.
You don't have to call me out.
You're strong, man. There's some strong jowls and jaws there.
Oh, I can hold a yawn in my mouth.
Yeah, there was little shakage there. Good job. One of my favorite subgenres, the afternoon reflection song. It's like the equivalent of like road trip, head out the window, or looking out the window, it's raining, like music video.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Similar genre.
You're like leaning on the window. You're like,
Yeah, like you want to feel like different.
yeah.
Similar subgenre, right? But painting the picture of like maybe you're on like a bus or like some sort of public transit, and it's like the only thing you can hear, you got your headphones in, the only thing you can hear is like that song, and it's just like very introspective and reflective, and it feels maybe
But that feels
music
a
be
little
like,
cold.
I don't know. To me, there's something about like, I mean, it even starts off with Stuck in the Afternoon.
I know, but what you're describing feels a little
Or-
cold. I think the song is a little more warm than that.
This song?
Their vibe.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's like the afternoon reflection song.
Okay.
You can call me crazy. It's a genre. It's a subgenre I've created, and I will list examples now. Barcelona by George Ezra. You familiar with that track?
Barcelona.
Barcelona
Mm-hmm.
by Mr. Ezra. You familiar with that one? That's an afternoon reflection song. God Only Knows, Beach Boys, feels like an afternoon reflection song. A little bit more fall-like in my opinion, but like still like it's afternoon, there's not a cloud in the sky kind of reflection. In the Blood by Mr. Mayer is a good one. And 7th Avenue Heartache, the Wallflowers.
No, that one goes in harder. That song goes hard.
I don't know. I think it's an afternoon reflection song.
Babe, that song is called 6th Avenue Heartache.
It is called 6th Avenue Heartache. How about that? That's
Not
also a
7th.
really good song. I don't know why I had a little brain fart there. It
You're
is
one
not 7th
street
Avenue
over.
Heartache.
This is a different. You're talking about a different song. It's a street over from the song.
Oops. I'm a whole block over.
Where are you at? I'm at 7th Avenue Heartache. Bitch, we're at 6th Avenue Heartache. God.
Maybe that's the Weird Al cover.
Yeah.
He's in the wrong spot.
Block over.
But you're right. Oops. Stupid me.
I'm
But
sitting here, I'm like, that does not sound right.
by Bob Dylan's son.
I like
You
him
know.
a lot more than Bob Dylan.
Yeah, you're not a fan of Bob Dylan.
No, I like the Wallflowers, so.
Yeah. Their song Crappy Car, and AKA One Headlight.
That song goes hard, too.
Yeah. But yes, 6th Avenue Heartache, excuse me. There's probably at one point I considered that song to be a faux. Less so now, but
I definitely think so. I feel like I've remembered you telling me. It's like come on Pop Rocks and be like, oh, I love this song. It's a
Yeah.
faux.
less so now.
Why would you take it off? I don't know. You
know.
can have a song that on your list that becomes a faux and then gets taken off.
I
feel
guess
like
so.
if it's your favorite of all time, it's staying on
But it's
there.
like maybe it just didn't have the longevity.
Then it shouldn't have been a faux in the
Like,
first place.
No, because my concept of FOTS, created the concept of FOTS like junior year of high school. That playlist was made, and so it's like I didn't have much lived experience. I didn't know, but at that time, like that was I would
Why is he taking it
characterize
off
as
though? That
folk.
song's good.
It is good. I don't know if it's like a favorite of all time though. But that playlist has like 400 songs on it anyway. So what's one more? You know?
That's what I'm saying. Also, I feel like you told me that in college.
Yeah, no. But like I had a real moment with Sixth Avenue Heartache in high school.
Okay.
Like real moment. And then college transitioned to Seventh Avenue Heartache.
Yeah. It's the same white line. It's drawn on you.
It's drawn on me.
It's drawn on me. Now it's drawn me in.
Yep.
7th Avenue Heartache.
The ear warning. Oops.
You gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop getting up on the microphone.
It's for comedic effect.
Okay.
But we're Southerners. We get derailed from the story, so sorry about that. But afternoon reflection song,
Mm-hmm.
you'll start noticing it. Believe me,
Okay.
it'll happen.
Okay.
You're gonna be driving somewhere. It's not gonna be a cloud in the sky. It's gonna be a real nice day. It's not gonna be too hot. Not gonna be too cold. In those equinox seasons, something comes on XM. You can be like, you're gonna get in that reflective mood. Just watch.
See, I feel like I'm only reflective. I don't think that personally, with no clouds in the sky, that I would be reflective.
But that's the thing, is like this music makes you want to. Like that's the whole point of the subgenre, because it's like, whoa, I'm taken aback by the beauty of the day and also the awesomeness of this song.
I'd be reflective in an overcast. Sun's out.
But I think
bro,
that
buns out, all right?
That
Buns
it
out.
requires a different reflection. In my
I
opinion.
think that just has to do with me not being very reflective at all.
I suppose. But tomorrow, the song that we're talking about today, not 7th Avenue Heartache, it has like the perfect start, in my opinion. Very like good lead in. And the first instrument is like this little subtle bass line that's a little repetitive, but it keeps like the beat and and keeps time. When I first listened to the song, I like just played it out on my computer, like in my office, and like I hadn't even heard that the bass was like the first part to that song. Like, that guitar is like the thing that you notice the most. And that's a testament to listening to songs with headphones, folks. I think there's a lost art in that. Like you're not seeing. I mean, you see AirPods everywhere, and like,
Yeah.
sure, that's headphones to some extent, but like, when was the last time you listened to a song with headphones? You know what I mean? Like full on, like just like taking it back, listen to the song. Like maybe you sat down somewhere, like actually like close your eyes, try to like feel where the song was taking you.
I do it
It's
when
probably
I walk,
it's been a while. I mean, for a lot of us, like maybe you had a CD player and that was maybe the last time you did that, or I don't know, but it just, and so I think this song is like a perfect drawback to that for me. Like just being able to sit somewhere and just like listen to something with headphones, because I think there's so much that you miss by just playing this song out loud. And I think that is a case with many other songs you may be listening to. So give it a try. Maybe pull out some of your current jams and
listen to 7th Avenue Heartache.
and put
headphones on.
Yeah, put on a set of headphones and see where it takes you. I think you will be pleased with that experience. But yeah, this song feels like an afternoon of reflecting that gets progressively more worried as the song goes on, and it does so not only with the lyrical content but with music as well. I think it acknowledges like the being stuck at the beginning, like in the afternoon, stuck on a lake. Like I'm thinking, I'm kind of like I'm listening to an afternoon reflection song, or just caught in a moment of reflection. Then there's like this, when you get reflecting, sometimes you tend to turn to regrets or maybe things you should have done or should not have done, and so then it moves in lyrically into the should-haves, and the music kind of picks up. You get that like harsher guitar sound in the background, so we're kind of mirroring the should-have and the regret, but it's not at the forefront. It's one of those things that's like, dang, like the back of my mind, should have this, should have that, should not have this, should not have that. And then there's like by the second verse, I don't know, the song doesn't really have a chorus, but like there seems to be a second opinion entering the chat. That kind of offers like why are you stuck in this gloom, man? Like, what's up? And it's one of those things where it's like he mentions like the line is like Queen of the Night turning the snow to blue, like, and it's something about like it's, you know, hard to not notice that. And maybe that's when you're going through a tough time, like it is kind of hard to not notice something like that. So we've got the person coming along, the maybe the objective force, or maybe the person who like cares about narrator in gloom, in reflection, and saying like, you know, why are you in this gloom? And then like let's get to it, like let's have a little bit of optimism about it. And then at the very end it's like, crap, well, what if tomorrow is today? Like, yikes. Like, we always talk about the concept of tomorrow and like a hopeful thing. It's like, what if like you've gotten a point and it's like you don't have as many years left, so it's like like that concept of tomorrow feels like you're in the right now, and it's like, God, like something's got to be done about this like right now.
Very existential.
Indeed, because like one of the lines that's like, heaven is hollow but hell is the same, because it's like also you may be questioning like, yeah, a lot of people have different perceptions about the idea of heaven, but for most people the idea of hell is the same, like an eternal damnation, eternal suffering, right? So that also might be putting fuel to the fire. It's a very fixed perception, but that last like little bit, like especially during those lines, like it's so perfectly mixed, and that's another reason why you should listen to the song with headphones. But like, oh man, and the outro gives you enough time and enough breath to just kind of like let it all go. And on Instagram, Max talks about how the song is him being in the afternoon of his faith. So I think he had a lot of like interesting faith experiences growing up. I don't know what that meant. You know, I don't know if he was like in a cult or something.
Huh.
And challenged a lot. Like, I think he now in his older age is like starting to like reflect on that more and like make a lot more sense of that. And like, obviously, as you start to iron out what your own perception of faith is, and like with the people around you, like he's obviously married, has kids or whatever, and it's like you start to compare those experiences, and like, I guess the afternoon of your faith is like, it's not set yet. You know, you're not going to bed on it yet. It's still being like figured out. So, but that's kind of the way why I take it. But what's your lady take on this song?
The main thing that, you know, stuck out with me, we listened to it with the headphones. At the beginning, I don't remember if it was, like the start of the percussion or whatever, but it sounded like someone walking on crunchy leaves.
You can get with
like, crunch, 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 crunch. So it felt like, you know, he's like taking a little walk to think.
Yeah.
And he was walking on some crunchy leaves. So I thought that was kind of fun.
You love crunchy leaves.
I love walking on crunchy leaves.
You love the fall.
Mm-hmm.
You like to be detected when you walk.
Mm-hmm. I ain't sneaking up on nobody.
Nope. You ain't gonna do it on no crunchy leaves. So, you know, this is Mike's Monday Jam, but of course every week we have Emma's Everyday Jam, the chance for Emma to, you know, debut what she's been listening to. So what's your Everyday Jam?
Well, you know, we're sticking with the concept of the Everyday Jam this week. I am still blasting Pitbull, as everyone should be.
Our powerful women.
So I'm gonna stick with Pitbull and Dolly. Dolly. Powerful Women, banger. And you know, if you were just having some moments in your life where, you know, maybe some people are pissing you off, you should listen to this song, because it'll be like, man, I'm better than them anyways. So
because I listen to Pitbull.
Because I listen to Pitbull, and I'm the most powerful woman. So don't even try it.
Exactly.
So you keep on listening to that.
Great choice.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it.
Thank you.
Now moving into our major and minor chords, the segment where we discuss our respective highs and lows from the week. What you got?
My high of the week is, you know, still, is that I'm going to Disney World. I know it was last week as well, you know, but I still haven't gone. So,
mhm.
going to Disney World, so excited. It will be so fun. My low of the week is that I have to fly there on Spirit Airlines. Luckily, it's very early, so I'll fall asleep.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Any
Yeah.
emotion, she just conks.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how rested I am. If I get on a
Just
plane
conks.
or I'm in a car longer than like an hour and a half, like I probably will fall asleep.
Out cold.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Mine for me, I lost a glove on my last long run. Long story short, hands got too cold, and I had to stop the run and try to put my hands near my chest, and I dropped a glove along the way, and then it was too dark, and long story, but
We'll get you some new gloves.
it's fine. I already ordered some on Amazon.
Oh,
I
okay,
think they'll
good.
be here today. So.
Oh, sick.
Quick fix, but you get attached to things.
Yeah.
So wherever that glove is on the trail, hope you're.
And you littered.
I know. Oops, sorry. Major, I think there's just a lot of exciting music stuff. This was an unexpected release to receive, but a lot more is on the horizon. So that's always good to just hear new stuff.
Hell yeah.
So pumped about that. Last but not least, we'll talk about our honorable mentions for the week. The jams that almost made the cut for the podcast floor, but not quite, or the ones that kind of follow a similar theme. And first up, another song by Will Dorado that you should listen to is Mr. Major.
Mr. Major, I suppose you and I are both tied up in hopeless life.
You like Mr. Major?
I know
That's-
that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Next up is a song that I heard on Life with John Mayer that I really enjoyed, and it is called Can I Believe You by Fleet Foxes.
Can I believe you? Can I ever know your mind and my hand in mine?
And last but not least, it's already been a Monday Jam, but we're come with me on the workaround. Brooks and Dunn, Kicks and Ronnie. Emma and I are obsessed with the song Lost and Found. It's a fantastic song, but it's already been a Monday Jam, and that's not to say it can be an honorable mention. I make the rules, what have you. I don't care. In 2019, Kicks and Ronnie released a reboot album in which they redid some of their most popular songs with other country singers, and it's awesome. Go check it out.
Amazing.
But my workaround is go listen to the Lost and Found reboot version with, I think it's Tyler Booth. So yeah, it's awesome.
It's kind of like a lost and found in a border town. You're asking about a diamond ring. They just look at you like you've lost your mind and say they haven't seen a thing.
That'll do it for us this week. Thanks for joining us on this musical journey. Thanks for the likes, subscribes, the comments, all of the good things. And we shall see you next week, folks.